Hi everyone, Ben Rich here again, and this is a response to Amy's video. Amy, I definitely like your idea of trying to foster greater cooperation between our federal and provincial levels of government, because in many ways, all regions of the country face some similar underlying problems, but they'll have different obstacles in the way to solving them. For example, all areas of the country are currently experiencing a shortage of family doctors, but the cause and solution in the Maritimes might be different from the cause and solution in Alberta. And working towards facilitating a better understanding of these issues between our levels of government is paramount in achieving success in these areas. I do, however, worry that there will be extreme competition of interests among the provinces at these conferences. After all, we'd essentially have 14 people together, all working towards satisfying their own agendas, and this can, at times, mean conflicting interests and goals for different regions of the country. Add to this the fact that some of these individuals have, let's call them frosty relationships with one another, and the sessions could quickly devolve into the premiers either verbally attacking each other or sacrificing good policy in an attempt to score political points within their home province. As much as we all hate these kinds of politics, we do know that they can be a reality. That said, we are seeing right now that there can be an appetite for productivity from these types of conferences. We just had a meeting of the finance ministers this past week, and we're about to have a first ministers meeting next week to address the economic crisis. And despite the competing interests that may or may not exist, I'm hopeful that the premiers will recognize the gravity of this situation so that the discussions will be constructive. But additionally, if meetings such as this are to continue and become a regular occurrence, we need to make sure they have some focus. Given the number of issues that we need to deal with, very little will get accomplished if they try to take on too much at once. So overall, my reaction to this part of your proposal is very positive, Amy. Achieving these goals would mean positive outcomes for Canadians. There may be some obstacles to successful implementation, but that shouldn't deter us from exploring these possibilities. But now I'd like to address the third part of your platform, Amy, getting Canadians value for their vote. At first glance, this concept sounds nice, but I'm not sure having MPs write a two-page report at the end of the year or at the end of a session of Parliament will get citizens more value for their vote. Yes, Canadians do want to know that their MP is actually doing something for them while they're in Ottawa, but there are already mechanisms in place to get that message to constituents. MPs are allotted 10%ers, which allow an MP to distribute a non-partisan flyer to 10% of the riding 10 times a year with updates on their activities in Ottawa and in the riding. Similarly, MPs also produce 4 newsletters throughout the year, which they send to their entire riding with more in-depth details on their activities. Additionally, MPs demonstrate their performance to constituents by hosting events in the riding, being visible at local events, giving interviews to local radio stations, appearing in local newspaper stories, and maintaining their websites. Plus, these events and these types of activities are not only part of an MP's job, they help to get an MP re-elected, so it's in their best interest to do them anyway. Furthermore, having volunteered in an MP's constituency office and in their election campaign, and having had the privilege of getting to know my Member of Parliament on a personal level, I can tell you that MPs are constantly reflecting on ways in which they can better serve their constituents. Well, maybe that's just my MP, but at any rate, I'm not sure the report that you have proposed would ensure Canadians get any more value for their vote than they already do. So Amy, I hope you don't take my criticisms personally, especially since there certainly are some parts of your platform that I like. And of course, I welcome a response to this video, my platform video, or any of the comments I've made in some of the forums. Thanks.